Hello, a very good morning and a very warm welcome to Kranjska Gora here in Slovenia. We're here for day number 2, live, of the World Alpine Skiing Championships. Such a wonderful morning in prospect. Run number 1 of the women's giant slalom. We saw the men go yesterday and we saw thrills and spills all over the course. And now let's see what the women have in store for us. It's 2 years removed from the championships in Tarvisio, and now we'll take a look back at that competition to see what we can learn ahead of this week. Here we are then, 22 kilometres down the road, less than half an hour away. This is Tarvisio, scene of the 2017 World Championships, where the landscape of this sport changed forever heading into the 2018 Paralympics in Pyeongchang. Established stars here cemented their legacy. New stars emerged from the shadows, while all the while future champions had their very first crack at the whip. Henrietta Farkasova certainly goes down as one of those greats. 2017's World Championships saw her return to action after 2.5 years out through injury, and alongside guide Natalia Subacova, they blasted through the rest of the competition, taking home 4 gold medals in the women's VI class, only to then repeat the total in Pyeongchang a year later. In Kranjska Gora and Slalom, can anyone stop the Slovakians? In the hunt to do so will be Great Britain's Menna Fitzpatrick and guide Jen Kehoe. Just a solitary bronze medal here 2 years ago, but since then the youngster has come of age, taking home 4 Paralympic medals last year, and she was the only one to stop Farkasova completing the clean sweep, winning gold in the slalom. Will it be the seasoned veteran or the young starlet who will get the better of this battle? Meanwhile, a star was born in the men's sitting competition as the Netherlands' Jeroen Kampschreur, in his very first World Championships, claimed a hat-trick of golds. But the competition has never been tougher. Watching in the wings on that occasion was Norway's Jesper Pedersen. No medals here in 2017, but has since gone on to become a Paralympic champion alongside the Dutchman. This class is as close as it gets. In Pyeongchang last year, we had 5 different winners in 5 different races. This one really is anybody's guess. One of the very best rivalries in paraskiing has never been better than on this very slope. In the women's standing competition, 2 of the all-time greats put on a battle for the ages. France's Marie Bochet and Germany's Andrea Rothfuss claimed all 5 of the golds between them, Bochet winning 3, and it was a similar story in Pyeongchang too, as Bochet ran riot, winning 4 gold medals, with Rothfuss picking up the same number of silvers. Will the roles reverse this time around? Beware the young buck, however. Theo Gamur of Switzerland went from a DNF and a silver medal on these slopes 2 years ago to triple Paralympic champion less than 12 months later in Pyeongchang. It is on these World Championship slopes that the road to Paralympic glory begins and the story starts. The greats are all competing across these championships this week. The stars are out in Kranjska Gora and Slalom, while some are still yet to be born. Well, that was Tarvisio 2 years ago, and I'd like to say I'm joined by the commentator of the event, Alan March. And Alan, it was such a great event in Tarvisio, and actually, so little has changed in a way. We saw on the VT there, Menna Fitzpatrick and Henrietta Farkasova, the battle's only got closer since then. Is that what we're expecting in the women's VI?
Yeah, there are no fewer than 3 Paralympic gold medal winners here. So yeah, 2 years on from the last World Championships, a year on from the Paralympic Games, and we still got a really high standard going in the women's VI.
And in terms of the women's standing, it's that battle, isn't it? There could well be surprises, but Tarvisio gave us so many great moments between Andrea Rothfuss and Marie Bochet. Can they repeat the trick?
If this is Bochet's A game, it's game over, isn't it? We saw that in Pyeongchang. She only beats herself if she has a bad day. However, the rest of the field are always waiting in the wings. They're always pushing her. And, you know, it is, again, we talked about this yesterday, it's the new cycle. After the games, you get a new star. Maybe somebody has been training hard for the last 12 months, and we'll see them today.
Yeah, some great girls going in the standing as well. Look out for Fred Turgeon, 2 World Cup gold medals, her first in Zagreb recently. And we talk about a battle, we talk about one-on-one. Women's sitting looks like it could be that. The 2 Germans, Forster and Schaffelhuber. Tough to look beyond them, but it's very tough to choose between them.
Now, yeah, there's the classification that's got some real changes. We had some real high-profile retirements at the end of Pyeongchang. Some people have left us. So again, we're opening the door for the next generation. But certainly, the 2 German athletes that are here right now, they're going to be hard to beat. Muraoka, don't count out the Japanese athlete.
Yeah, and Tori Prendergast as well, so successful on World Cup circuits around the world. Here we go then, it's almost time to go for run number 1 of the women's giant slalom here in Kranjska Gora. Oh, lovely to catch up with Alan there, who's since scooted up to the commentary position here in Kranjska Gora ahead of run number 1. It's mere moments away now, as we'll see the women's standing, the women's VI and the women's sitting giant slalom here on day number 2 of the championships. We saw so much great action yesterday. If you missed it, we crowned some new gold medalists. Jeroen Kampschroer in the sitting, Arthur Bochet of France in the standing, and Marek Kubacka in the VI. We've got some more gold medalists to crown, and we're not too far away from seeing who is going to be in contention today as the women's giant slalom gets underway in Kranjska Gora. It's time to hand over to our commentator, Alan March.
Thank you very much, Stephen Jameson. I can confirm that I didn't scoot anywhere. The fastest you'll get from me is a slow meander, and that's exactly what happened as I left Stephen Jameson. What a great day it was yesterday here in Kranjska Gora, the opening day of the World Para-Alpine Skiing Championships. It wasn't just a great day on the snow, it was, in fact, Stephen Jameson, our host's birthday as well. So a good, happy birthday to him for yesterday. These guys are back. The beautiful scenery never leaves us, does it? Kranjska Gora looking splendid this morning. The sun beating down on large parts of Slovenia and giving us some fantastic footage to take a look at. The temperature of the snow, -8. The air temperature feels colder out there, I must say, than -5. No wind to really speak about. Again, you see the bottom of the run that the athletes have got to get themselves through. Before that, well, there's 38 gates set by John Clark. It's an 836 metre high finish. That means they'll have gone 842 metres to try and set the best time of the morning. 3 categories as always, and plenty of people at the bottom supporting their compatriots, their favourite athletes, and more than likely their family members. Women's VI, women's standing, and women's sitting categories to come. I mentioned earlier with Stephen, no fewer than 3 Paralympic champions here. We start with the lady that is the dominant force. She found herself being stopped in the clean sweep attempt in Pyeongchang. How will she fare at the World Championships this time out? Farkasova, 32 years old now, lives in Bratislava, guided by Natalia Subatova. And it is a formidable pairing that has won gold medals all around the world. This is their 5th World Championships, or for Farkasova's at least. As you might have seen in the highlights from Televisia, the return for Farkasova there after a long, lengthy injury spell was sublime. 4 golds and a silver, replicated in Pyeongchang just a year later. It's no secret that all 5 titles were the aim for the Slovakian pairing. What will they come up with here in this opening run? You hear Subotova. 107.29. He's greeted by a huge cheer at the bottom, and there's a head down and a little shake from Farkasova. Are you ready? She said just before getting underway. This is Melissa Perrine, Australian. New season, new guide, but not somebody they don't know. Bobby Kelly was reportedly asked for a couple of years running whether she'd come and be Mel Perrine's guide. Christian Geiger wanting to concentrate on the coaching aspect. He was her guide as well. Bobby joins the team, a 26-year-old. She and Melissa appear to get on very well. Oh, there's a slow section there as Perrine has to correct everything. Getting wide. And she is 2.85 seconds down on the Paralympic champion. This wasn't one of those that Farkasova struggled with. The slalom event was the one that belonged to Menna Fitzpatrick. So Farkasova continues to lead. Perrine's time, 1:11.78. You see Mel and Bobby just taking a look back up the guide and wondering where that can be better. Taking a look at the video board as well. There's some nice hats.
Sounds scratchy. I can't figure it out.
Always takes people a couple of seconds to figure out where they are. Is the competition serious? So's that man there, but these ladies. I think the lady on the left is part of the James Whitley fan club. There's Subotova and Farkasova over there with the Slovakian coaches. Slight delay before we start our third run. Kelly Gallagher is meant to be next. Looks like that's still the case, so not 100% sure where the slight delay is at the moment. Begins into the leader area. Nobody's swept the bench. Subotova managing that one. Otherwise, that's a cold sit down, and nobody wants that. Not in -5. If you want to get in touch with us throughout the course of the competition, you can indeed use the hashtag. That's Kranjska Gora 2019. And you can follow on social media channels for extra content away from the live stream at Alpine on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Shot a moment ago of Mr. Perrine and the Australian coach just chatting away. I'm not sure that that gentleman's got the right neck attire for this sort of weather, but Maybe it'll keep him warm.
So you should really put a lot of pressure on the ski to very early.
That must be the local council. 2 watching, 1 working. Again, welcome to the coverage of the World Para-Alpine Skiing Championship. If you've just joined us, you've only missed 2 runs so far. Farkasova and Perrine, Slovakia and Australia have been. But a delay on the course. There you can see Kranjska and Subotova, and up at the other end, keeping warm now, it's Kelly Gallagher and her guide Gary Smith. So again, these athletes not only have the World Championships to cope with, but of course the World Cup circuit. We've got a slight delay to that start. We were meant to go to Slalom in December, but the lack of snow has meant that didn't happen. So the World Cup sort of started in Zagreb. As we take a look back at the final stages of Henrietta Farkasova. World Cup started in Zagreb only last week. It was a small gathering. A lot of athletes deciding that it was too close to the Worlds to be involved in. Some of the athletes taking it as a last moment chance to get some practice in. And Kelly Gallagher looks like the jacket's come off again now, so she might be getting ready to come. Yep, you're going to have to take your helmet off for that phone to work, love. There we go. She'll get that right. Annalena Forster fans. I think that might be harder to say than I thought. But, plenty of people down at the bottom. Those ladies and gentlemen have got some time to wait. The Annalena Forster going in the women's sitting competition. We've still got the women's standing and 3 athletes of the women's VI. Kelly Gallagher looks in great spirits, doesn't she? At the top, up there. You hear them maybe through your TVs or devices. They're just chatting away to each other, these two. 33 now. Debuted in 2009 in New Zealand. Became the first athlete from Great Britain in any of the sports to win a Paralympic Winter Games gold. So she goes down in history. Kelly Gallagher. We're not far from her coming down here at these World Championships. So Gary Smith to the left of your screen starts the women's day 1. It's day 2 of these World Para-Alpine Skiing Championships. The giant slalom is the first obstacle on the road to stardom. Again, the guide and the athlete communicating with each other via the Bluetooth headsets. In their helmets. Both of these two are quite vocal. Every instruction that Gary gives, Kelly seems to answer. Quite icy in the bottom section. Nobody struggling so far. A fair few DNFs in the men's events yesterday. Nothing at the levels of Sochi or Pyeongchang, it has to be said. Conditions here much better. Oh, Gallagher just slipping and sliding in this bottom section. That might be the icy conditions we talked about. And Gallagher gets a 1:14.70. He puts it behind Perrine.
Really working hard there.
You might have heard her say, I'm really working hard there. Every experienced champion needs a young upstart to push them. Well, Kasova found just that. In the last World Championships, Millie Knight was Great Britain's youngster that was pushing. In Pyeongchang, it was the turn of Millie Knight, partner Menna Fitzpatrick, who, along with Knight's former guide, Jen Keogh, was in fact the lady that stopped Farkasova taking all 5 titles. The joyous scenes that you saw at the beginning with the highlights package of Keogh and Fitzpatrick embracing in the winners area. Unexpected, maybe. Deserved, absolutely. Fitzpatrick pushing constantly. Bronze in the Super G, silver in the Super Combined, silver in this event, the Giant Slalom. What a games this youngster had. And Menna and Jen coming to the line. 1:14.09, it's behind Perrine, so the two Brits drop in behind the Australian. And nobody at the moment able to affect Slovakian. Final athlete to go is Anna Peskova. A 32-year-old. We saw her at the Paralympic Games, an 11th place finish in the Super G. 2 DNFs in the downhill and the Super Combined. So this is the first look at Peskova and Michaela Hubakova from Czech Republic in any form of slalom at a major event. Getting quite close to each other at times. Again, different styles, varying techniques. You can see Hubakova, the guide, having to slow herself quite regularly. Taking a fair amount of these gates fairly wide, so losing time, but again, for a vast amount of our athletes, the intentions aren't to come here and medal. Some of them, it is about learning, about competing against the world's best. Some of them will take part in the Europa Cups or the World Cup circuit, but the opportunity to be at a World Champs or a Paralympic Games is not one to be missed. And Anna Peskova gets across the line without problems. 22.90 seconds back. So the coat goes back on, the job done for the Slovakian pairing of Henrietta Farkasova and Natalia Subotova. Perrine in second, but you would imagine, barring a mistake here, Farkasova is going to start her first day at the World Champs the right way. She's already got a big lead going into the second run. Will we see something majestic from Perrine, Fitzpatrick, Gallagher? That is action that you'll need to join us for again later on. But these two doing what they do best and leading a competition from the very start. They were first out the gates. They're first in the standings. And it's first that they crave once again.
They're like beaver fur.
So women's standing event coming up. Andrea Rothfuss and Anna Maria Rida will be desperate to push Marie Bochet as hard as they can. Frederic Turgeon, as Stephen Jameson was mentioning earlier, double World Cup winner in Zagreb last week. Mel Pemble isn't here to just make up the numbers, neither is Alana Ramsey. And we're underway in the women's standing. Andrea Rothfuss from Germany. "29 years old, from Freudenstadt. Debuted back in 2004, a Paralympic champion on the slalom in 2014 in Sochi. Just the use of the ski pole in the right hand. Born without a left hand. There was only ever known skiing like this. She wanted to come away from Pyeongchang with 2 golds. Eventually she came away with 4 silvers and a bronze. Can she correct that here at these World Championships? Across the line she goes then, 109.51. Little wave to the camera. And she gets to sit in the leader box. But for just how long is the question. Anna Maria Rida, second of the German athletes to go. Chasing down 28.43 over this first intermediate section. You see the factored time at the bottom right of your screen, very much changed from Andrea Rothfuss. Rothfuss's factored time was indeed 100%, so it meant that the clock ran normally. Here, the factored time calculated to allow all of the athletes with differing impairments and classifications a level playing field. It also means that your average stopwatch won't match the time that Anna Maria Rida gets at the bottom of this run. So factored by 86.11%. Oh, and out goes Anna Maria Rida. And that's one of the favourites gone in the very early stages. It's what makes alpine skiing one of the most watchable sports on the planet, because you just never know. Even some of the world's best can make a mistake. Let's have a look back. Just sliding strongly there. And then just dropping down. It's very innocuous. But it's down. It's out. And from Bonn to Berlin, German spectators will be disappointed for us. He gets the embrace from Loftus, and I said I wonder how long she'll stay there. Well, at least one more.
Eigentlich ganz gut, also ich weiß nicht genau, wie viel ich habe.
Frédéric Turgeon. Fred. Some people call it. She doesn't mind that at all. Been a hard start to 2019 for Frédéric Turgeon. Father passed away in the early part of the year. Spoke to at great lengths in Zagreb about that, and she just said, I'm getting out there and I'm just skiing at the moment. I'm just dealing with it, and being out there helps me deal with it. So, oh, and down goes Turgeon as well. Well, we talked at the beginning of this program about Marie Bochet. If she's on her A game, she tends to win things. The problem if she's not on her A game is the rest have to finish. The rest have to put in a decent time, and Frédéric Turgeon will be gutted, absolutely gutted at not making it down the first run. She struggled through that red gate and trying to correct herself for the left-hander into the blue gate. It all went wrong. So difficult to ski on the one leg. And once you lose that center of balance, you lose that racing line you wanted, you lose out. The face of concentration, the face of a Paralympic legend already. Not showing any real signs of stopping either. How do you solve a problem like Maria? I suppose. 24 years of age. The last 4 World Championships, she's only missed 5 gold medals. Just let that sink in. In the last 4 World Championships, she's claimed every gold bar 5. 3 of those were in her first World Championships. That's staggering. Absolutely sensational. And in the last 2 Paralympic Games, she's won 8 golds. Nothing says brilliant like Bochet, and she started tremendously as well, but the last 2 athletes have gone out. Bochet getting very personal with that red gate a moment ago, wiping it out of the course. But it hasn't hindered her, and this is the slippy section. We said this, and Bochet has just had to temper it a little. I don't think we've had the last of the drama here on day 2. Across the line, it's a great time. 1:04.92. And a big sigh of relief at the bottom. I get the feeling this course might have more to say about this competition than the athletes themselves. Bochet leads. The course being tended to for a couple of minutes. Some friends there from Austria on the right, Germany on the left. The Americans have planted a flag just to make us aware that they're here. The Austrians have got plenty of those though. It's a hard call, isn't it, that comes out and supports skiers. That it's not like supporting a summer sport. Get the shorts and t-shirts on and hang around outside. These guys are absolutely in freezing conditions. -5 out there currently. Here's a look at Bochet. Keep an eye on the bottom section as well of this this run. She always, like any good skier, gets as close as she can to the gates. Nothing wrong with that. But that one there absolutely wiped it out. You've got to be careful not to straddle the gate, of course. A foot either side of one of those gate posts, and you are as good as sliding out. You're done. At this stage, she's already 3.35 seconds inside the time of Andrea Rothfuss, and with Anne-Marie Rieder and Frederic Turgeon already going out, Bochet knew that she has to come down in a good time. There's an issue. And watch this next left-hander. Just starts to slide away a little bit there too as well. So the course itself and the conditions themselves hampering even the best. But Bochet does what Bochet does and leads the competition. Well, one Canadian and one German have bit the dust so far. Mel Pemble is next up to tackle the Kranjska Gora course. Melissa Pemble, to give her a full name, just 18 years of age, actually born in England. In Preston, if I remember rightly. Bumped into Mel's parents out in Pyeongchang. Also known as Melly in parts. Just dangling the right leg out to try and keep the balance on some of these turns. Two 9th places and an 11th place. Giant slalom was 11th, but with 2 already out of this competition, there are big opportunities for medals here at these World Championships. Oh, and another struggle again. Same section. That is exactly the same area that we saw Bochet struggle with just a moment ago. And Pemble gets across the line though. So Mel Pemble does get across the line. Alana Ramsey, third of the Canadians there. 1 in and 1 out. What will their percentages look like at the end of Ramsey's run? Good opportunity. The 24-year-old from Calgary, Alberta. $1.82 down on Bochet, and it's again the fight with the course rather than the opposition at the moment for all of these skiers. It hasn't snowed properly in the 4 days that I've been here in Kranjska Gora. There's plenty of it. We are scheduled some this evening. But for now, again another struggle, and well, Ramsey's held on that. That area of the course is the making of an athlete at the moment. Through the line she comes, Ramsey. 7.74 back. But my, she's just relieved to get there. She was all kinds of sidewards. Petra Smasova from Slovakia. Smasova, 28. Multi-medalist at both Paralympic and world level. The quest for a gold continues. It isn't looking good for the giant slalom here in Kranjska Gora. 4 seconds already adrift of the great Boucher. But with Boucher amongst many struggling in the drop down to the line, just completing your run at the moment seems good enough, because any mistake from anyone above you in the second run, you've got to be around to take advantage. Here is where we've had the struggle, and Smatova copes with it better than most, to be fair. Tucked in, makes it to the line. There's many before her haven't. Smatova, 1:15.72. It's not the quickest, but she gets to the bottom unscathed. Pink helmets belongs to Ami Hondo of Japan. Seconds, nearly 5 in fact, down at the first intermediate time. You can see that on the right side of your screen again, if it's coloured in red with the plus sign for those that maybe are affected by colour blindness. The red block with the plus sign means that they are over the time set by the current leader. If that block were to be green or with a minus, then they would be under. Again, Hondo, one of those athletes that has 100% factored time, so the clock is what it is. Oh, and Hondo again. Another that's having to fight the course to stay the course, but gets across the line. It's not bad, 1:15.20. She's gone into 4th place here. In real terms, one mistake from somebody above her, and Ami Hondo has the opportunity to win a World Championship medal. She went to the Paralympic Games. Krater from Switzerland then, 22 years old. Comes from St. Gallen. Debut in 2010. Saw a fair amount on the World Cup last year. You almost feel like you're waiting for this bottom half of the course. Nobody really struggling with the top half. Frederick Turgeon might argue that. Timing-wise, Boucher is where you thought she might be, well in front. But it's as they make this drop down now. This is where they come into the eye line of the spectators at the bottom of the course. The sun is just about poking through the top of the mountain here, right behind them. You can just see it shining on a few of the banners to the right side. Well, Kratter has dealt with it very delicately. And comes through. 119.88. From a laser class sailor at the elite level. This is Guo Xiaojin. Xiaojin, just 19. No highlights to talk of. This is a first major championships for the Chinese athlete. Skis for the Hebei province. The ambition is to make it to the 2022 games, so starting to collect some big event experience. Again, another athlete that's found her factored time unchanged. It's 100%. Again, another athlete that skis with just the right ski pole. Appears to be no amputation in the left arm. Clearly only the ability to use the pole in the right, and again just getting wide on the left of that ominous blue gate. On 20.59 for Go. Kazazic from Bosnia and Herzegovina was meant to compete at the World Cup in Zagreb last week, didn't on either day. Year-old, born in Sarajevo, still lives there. Only debuted in 2014 before heading off to Sochi. Always talks about the influence that her first coach had on her career. Senad Turkovic passed away in 2016. But every race she's had and every race she will have is done in his memory. But he's always in her heart, gives her strength and the motivation she needs. Athlete with cerebral palsy, so muscle strength is where the issues lie. You often see the athletes with cerebral palsy struggling with the leg strength. Just there, you see the wobble of the left leg from Ilma. This might be an interesting section for her to hold on through, but the slower pace through that section of Ilma Kazazic, meaning that she wasn't affected in the same sense as a few others have been. And across comes Kazazic, some 21 seconds back. But Kazazic takes a look at the final board. This is Wang Qingyun. Second member of the Chinese team. Again, just the single ski pole user in the left hand this time, opposite to Go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
20 years of age.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Ciao.
And also another who is aspiring to make it to 2022. Aren't we all? The Chinese team obviously finding athletes to gain experience over the World Championship circuit. Oh, it's wide. This will really slow her down. Two really wide turns into gates. Wang Qingyun. And here's the final standing athlete, the Chinese athlete just waiting in the wings to greet her teammate. The smiles at least. Well, there's the official results then. Marie Bochet is somewhere in front of Rothfuss and Ramsey. Hondo, 4th position, poised. If any of those above her are to make a mistake. The course seemed to have its way with a fair few athletes. It might have caused even more trouble. Rida and Turgeon being gone. It's great news for the ones that are left. Not so good for them. This is Marie Bochet's first run. And the run that has put her in the all too familiar position, the first position, going into the second run a little bit later. If you want to see the second run for all of these athletes, we're not finished, by the way, I'm just telling you, if you want to see the second run for all of these athletes, make sure you're joining us at 1 p.m. local time. That's 1 p.m. here in Kranjska, Gora. Skiing starts at 1:10. So here is the start list for the women's sitting. Tori Pendergast, Lena Forster, Anna Schaffelhuber, Momoka Muraoka, Laurie Stevens. And I'm hearing that Tori Pendergast will not start here in this women's sitting contest, so we're already one down. Reverse that decision. That's a chance handed back. We are hearing now that Victoria Pendergast of Australia will start now. I was told a moment ago in my ears that she wouldn't, but she now will. And she came by me this morning at the bottom of the mountain, seemed in good spirits. She's certainly focused here. She was more concerned with how I was. No idea why. But, she was fine. Ready for it, she said. And there she is, focusing. I'll tell you now, Tori Pendergast has got one style, and one style only. She will go at this course. Tori Pendergast then of Australia. A 27-year-old, originally from Sydney. Driving into the turns. I'm interested to see now how the sit skiers cope with the bottom section that we saw many of the women's standing athletes struggle with. Oh, and it's not even that far down. Pendergast raises her head to the sky. And just the bottom end, the back end, slides out. And out goes the Australian in the early stage. Just here, trying desperately to make that left-hander. There'll be dissecting that footage a little bit later on in the hotel. Was she leaning back a bit? Was she overstretching on her inside? That's all for the experts to decide. What I can tell you is Pendergasta's gone. Talked about a lot of retirements at the end of Pyeongchang. Can't really have a World Championships without mentioning the great Stephanie Victor, Claudia Loesch as well. We now need the next generation of sit skiers to entertain us, and one of those constant entertainers is Anna-Lena Forster, 23-year-old, a vast amount of experience already. Gold medalist in the Super Combined. Gold medalist in the Slalom. 2 for Forster, 2 for Schaffelhuber, who comes next. So, Forster going nicely indeed. Into the bottom section, coping okay. Plenty of German support at the bottom of the hill. You'll see them to the left side of your screen at the bottom. But it's Forster that comes through, 1:19.26. This is Anna Schaffelhuber. 1:19.26 is the time to beat. He's inside. 0.21 at the first intermediate. Five-year-old, just a couple of years older than Anna-Lena Forster. Exactly the same amount of golds in Pyeongchang. Neither of them finished in the medals in the giant slalom. 4 seconds to the good. And Schaffelhuber looking quick here. Through the line she comes. Well, this is the event that neither Schaffelhuber or Forster took a medal from in Pyeongchang. We're less than a year since then, and the pair of them look good, but this was the lady that did the damage that day. Momoka Muraoka from Japan. Can she replicate those great scenes from Korea? Oka is quick. She started to catch the eye on the World Cup circuit last year. She's a second inside. She's her third World Championship. She's not got a gold so far. Plenty of silvers and bronze and fourth place finishers, but certainly 2 bronze, 2 silvers and a gold in Pyeongchang told the world that Momoka Muraoka was ready to be the next star in the women's sitting. And she's inside the German times at the moment, a little slower through this bottom section it would seem, but Muraoka leads 0.68. What an afternoon we're going to have in the sitting competition. Well, the 21-year-old smashed it. Laurie Stevens from the United States. "34 years of age. Going to work hard in that previous section. He's a former record holder in Paris swimming as well in the United States. Born with spina bifida. A 4-time Paralympian in the Winter Games. Holds dating back to 2006. He's never managed to repeat that success. She was mighty close to a medal in Pyeongchang in the super combined. Coming in 4th position, losing some momentum here. And off to the side goes Stevens. And out goes the American, like the Australian. It's another that we've lost here on day 2. This is Anna Beninati. Beninati, like Stevens, from the US. 25-year-old from San Antonio, Texas. Now living in Park City, Utah. There's plenty of places to go practice there. Keen horse rider. And she's away from the slopes. First major event. Paralympics and World Championship history to speak of, and Beninati learning all about this World Championship course. Can she go one stage further than her teammate Stevens, who left us towards the bottom end of the circuit? Muraoka's time, 49.30. That's not Beninati's aim at this point. Everything is Star Spangled Banner with Beninati, even the face mask, keeping the bottom of the mouth and neck warm. And that's wide, but again, just able to keep it together. And Anna Beninati from the United States does get a time in her opening run, 1:28.26. She loves someone. Four more to come, and first of those 4, Barbara van Bergen. Years old now, Barbara van Bergen, originally from Rotterdam. Yet to medal in Alpine. Doesn't mean she isn't a Paralympic medalist, far from it in fact. double bronze medal winner at Paralympic Summer Games. As a wheelchair basketball player, 2 times bronze medal winner both in 2012 in London and in Rio. She's swapping the heat of the wheelchair basketball court for the cool sport that is Alpine skiing. Van Bergen swapping wheels for a ski. Crossing the line in 2019. She's just outside of the medal positions at the moment. It's a good place to be. Should somebody ahead of you make a mistake. Heike Eder from Austria. And gone. Wow. Very early in the run. Not as early as some today, but Heike Eder, the 30-year-old, slides out early. Just into the left-hander. Yep, too much. We saw a little bit with Tori Pendergast earlier. Just not able to get straight enough. And taking the tightest line into the corner. The back end of the singular ski loses out. And Heike Eder is gone. Bucket seats placed on top of an adjustable shock called the mono ski. Singular ski at the bottom. Predominantly there are athletes around that have a double ski feature on the bottom of their mono skis. All important to keep the centre of gravity in these things because you're going down on the edge of a single ski at times, and those of you that have tried to ski with 2 skis will know that it's hard enough, let alone on just the singular ski. The springs themselves, the shocks can withstand 6 Gs of force, which enables the sit skiers to really drive the back end in and help them turn, as we've seen with a couple, Eder and Pendergast. If you allow the back end to go too far, there's no coming back. And Liu Sitong from China joins the DNF list. It's not a good list to be on. She has hung her arm out too long. We saw this a couple of times in the men's event yesterday. Get the arm caught in the gate, and it's good night. Just here, just leaves her outrigger, the adjusted ski pole to the standing athletes, the outrigger that the sit skiers use. She's just left her right hand in, just leaving that right hand in the gate, and the outrigger taking Sitong out. Well, the final athlete to come then is also from the People's Republic of China. This is Zhang Wenjing. Zhang Wenjing completes not only the women's sitting, but the entire first run. Another backhand slide that slows her right down, but she'll be more concentrating on just getting through, and that's not going to happen. Well, she's theoretically inside the course here, so she will carry on. That's good thinking from Zhang. Issue here, where she slides out, and she continues to go. 50 15 seconds back. Well, she's going to finish her run. My understanding is that there's a disqualification heading for bib 97, so Zhang Wenjing won't know that, but will complete her run and complete our day here on the course, so we'll follow her down. Oh, and I think it's going to come to an end anyway. Will she try and continue? Again, doesn't know that. I think the disqualification has already been given earlier on, and this slide does complete the day. So, well, a lot of effort went in there from Zhang Wenjing, but unceremoniously slides out of day number 2 on the first run. Well, the mountain can be cruel, cruel, cruel at times, but it's good to others. And Momoka Muraoka certainly didn't have any issues. Now, what that means is there are just 5 athletes left when it comes to the second run. A mistake from one of the big names, and myself and Stephen were talking about Muraoka, Schaffelhuber, Annalena Forster a little bit earlier on, but Barbara van Bergen, on her journey to try and pick up her first ever World Championship medal, is in 4th position. Anna Benanati, in her World Championship debut, is now the only other athlete left. Mistakes from the big 3, and we could have surprise medal winners. That is how it looks in the women's standing after the first run. A reminder that our competition starts just after 1 p.m, so make sure you're joining us live at 1 o'clock this afternoon here in Kranjska Gora. That's 1 o'clock Slovenian time for the World Para Alpine Skiing Championships second run. Let's take a look back at some of the replays. This is Momoka Muraoka showing us just how it was done. So Muraoka doing what she needed to do. So that is it for run 1. Muraoka running riot in the women's sitting competition. The brilliant Bochet is in charge very much of the women's standing, and Falkasova with Guide Subatova are very much in charge of the women's VI giant slalom. Join us again at 1 o'clock local time when we bring you all of the second runs. Probably even more drama. Goodbye.
Jo, schade, schade.